Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Here's the Truth with AP. I'm AP, and I'm here to give you the truth. And the truth is, Trump is going to win the general election, and the Democrats have known this all along. And let me explain that to you. When the general election came up, and it was time to bring forth their presidential candidate, they all knew that Joe Biden was in cognitive decline. They tried to pawn it off, they tried to push it off, but the whole world and America saw how truly off Joe Biden had become. So their plan was to put Joe Biden out on the debate stage. And remember, Joe Biden was not going to debate Trump for the longest time. And finally, the Democratic Party decided to put him on the debate stage with Donald Trump, knowing he was going to flop, knowing it was not going to be good, and knowing that it would be so bad that they'd be forced to put in a new candidate. So it came to the point where they had to put in a new candidate. Who are they going to put in? Were they going to try to win this time and run one of their up-and-coming stars who could have lost, which would have been a bad notch on their political career? Or would they just run Kamala Harris knowing she's probably going to lose? Kamala Harris has been one of the most disliked people in the Democratic Party ever since she's been part of the party. She is a word salad mess, and she's even farther left in her voting record than Bernie Sanders. So they threw her out there. They rolled Biden out, threw him under the bus because they knew he'd fail, gave them a reason to put somebody else out there. They rolled Kamala out, just hoping maybe that she could pull it out because in their mind, Donald Trump is so awful and so evil. But as they see right now with the election 16, 17 days out, she's not going to win. Donald Trump is far ahead. He is ahead in the betting polls. He, from anywhere from 20% is the most to 10%. That's where people are putting their money, and money talks. The Harris campaign knows she's losing, which explains why she's started to do all these interviews here the last 2 weeks when she didn't do any for 2.5 months. She even went on Fox with Brett Baer, trying anything to save her campaign. And the more she speaks, the more she puts her foot in her mouth, does her word salads, shows that she's incompetent, and she is stalling while Trump is gaining even more momentum. So what are the Democrats going to do? They know they're losing the White House. It's probably pretty good chance they're going to lose the House. So they're putting all their money in the Senate races. They're outspending Republicans 4-1. Why are they outspending Republicans 4-1 in the Senate races? Because they're hoping, with the White House lost, the House lost, they're hoping they can salvage the upper house and at least have the Senate blue to stop all of what Trump wants to do and the Republicans want to do. In the meantime, what the Democrats are going to be doing is polishing their next star for 2028. Who's it going to be? Who is the person they're going to polish for the next 4 years, like they did Obama, to win at least that White House in 2028? I have 6 names. The 6 names that come out to me are Pete Buttigieg, Gretchen Whitmer, Gavin Newsom, Josh Shapiro, J.B. Pritzker, and Wes Moore. Now, I think we can cross off Pete Buttigieg. He is awful. He has shown no ability to run the transportation department, which he was put in charge of. He waited a year to visit Ohio, where that train derailment happened. He's odd, according to, middle America. He's just not presidential. Gretchen Whitmer. Gretchen Whitmer is a Michigan governor. of a swing state, which is good for her. But if you look at her record, her lockdown guidelines during COVID were extremely strict, which we know now never had to be, given the latest CDC study, and Middle America knows that. She's a champion for gun safety legislation, which the Democrats love. And you know what? So do we. So do the Republicans. Gun safety is huge. I have gone to gun ranges with Republicans, gun owners, and the minute we stepped on that gun range, gun safety was number one. I applaud that. She's a champion for electric cars manufacturing in Michigan, which I don't know how she won governor championing electric guitars in Michigan, with the automobile industry as prominent as it is in Michigan. Electric cars have proven to be not as reliable as gas-powered cars. They don't do well in the cold. They aren't efficient. In fact, many companies in Michigan are doing away with electric car manufacturing. And she's a champion of abortion rights, which we all know is at the top of the Harris Walz campaign right now, because they really have nothing else to run on except Trump's evil. And she published a memoir in July. So they may try to polish her for 2028. But as far left as she is with some of her policies, I don't think she'd be a good candidate for them to run. And I think they may know that. Which brings me to Gavin Newsom. He's polished. He speaks very well, which the Democrats love. It doesn't matter whether they can govern or not, as long as they can speak well. They love him. And Gavin speaks very well. But take a look at California. Look at the big cities. Look what's going on there. I didn't even want to try to guess a number for their deficit. But it's in the billions and billions and billions of dollars. And his past is filled with scandals. So Gavin probably isn't the guy for them. Josh Shapiro is interesting. Governor of Pennsylvania, very popular. Governor of a swing state. He's got not many negatives from his past. So he's one that they may run. J.B. Pritzker is a billionaire. I don't think the Democrats are going to want to run a billionaire after Trump wins in November. They hate billionaires publicly. Secretively, they love billionaires because they're the ones that give them the money. But they are pretty open about their hatred for billionaires and how billionaires need to be taxed more. And so I don't think Pritzker's the guy. My guy that I think they're going to run in 2028 is Wes Moore. Wes Moore he checks all the boxes. He is black. He is the only sitting black governor right now of the 50 states. He is the third ever elected by the United States. He pardoned 175,000 low-level marijuana convictions. He's done a series of interviews and speeches in the aftermath of Biden's debate. He was a speaker at the DNC, Democratic National Convention, and he was the subject of a book which described him coming from poverty to where he is. Wes Moore, I think, is the guy that they're going to try to polish for the next 4 years and win in 2028 so they can do away with all of the things that the Republicans did in 2024, 5, 6, and 7. So, Wes Moore, I think that's their plan. And I think they're going to try to win the upper house, the Senate. They're outspending Republicans right now on those elections right now, 4-1. And they don't have to win as many seats in the Senate to take control of the Senate. And right now, it's 53-47 Republican. The House is 50-50 right now. But I think they're better off putting their interest and their energy into just a few seats in the Senate than so many seats they have to win in the House. But Trump is going to win. I think he's going to win 312, 320 electoral votes. I think he's going to win North Carolina, Ohio, Florida. He's going to win Pennsylvania. He's going to win Arizona. And he's going to win one of Michigan or Wisconsin, maybe both. Georgia, we won't know for a week, 2 weeks, as we never ever know with Georgia. But I don't think it's going to matter at that point. I think Trump will have his 270. So that's what I think things are looking like right now, and you can even point to the actions of the Harris campaign the last month. She went from not doing any interviews at all, not going out and tackling any of that, to doing a bunch here in the last 2 weeks, including going into enemy territory at Fox with Bret Baier. And of course, the Democrats were all up in arms on how Bret Baier attacked her and bullied her, but they seemed to forget or didn't even watch the interview that Bret Baier had with President Trump. He went after him too. I mean, Bret Baier's he's a solid journalist. So take a look at the Trump interview with him. Then take a look at the Kamala Harris interview with him and tell me if it wasn't the same. Democrats just like to make stuff up, and it's funny. They try to pin xenophobe and racist and Nazi and dictator on Donald Trump, and none of that stuck because middle America saw right through it. They tried to impeach him twice. They lost both of those. They tried to indict him. They're losing those. They tried to assassinate him. Now, I'm not saying the Democrats put anybody up on that, but he's 3 people actually, tried to assassinate him. The third one didn't even get through security, thank God. They're trying to get rid of him, and I think they've just come to the realization that they're not. Teflon Don is not going anywhere. So they're going to try to win something, and I think they're trying to win the Senate. So I wouldn't be surprised if Trump wins 312, 320 electoral votes. I still am saying it's going to be close in New York. I've been saying it for 2 months now, if you've been watching me. Those people are fed up with the immigration problem. They're fed up with crime up there. And he's gone into New York and had a couple rallies. And those people have a lot more information than we do. So they know something we don't know. I think he's going to win New Jersey, and I think it's going to be close in Virginia. So if he wins Pennsylvania, it's over. If he wins New York, it's over. But I'm really interested. I am 100% sure that Trump is going to win, given everything we've been watching and seeing for the last month, the way people are betting, and the way the Harris administration has been acting. 100% is going to win. I'm just really interested to see how close New York, how close Virginia, what New Jersey does. I think he's going to win one of those 3 states, which would be really cool if he does. And people know, they had 4 years to compare Donald Trump's governing to 4 years of the Biden-Harris administration. Now, Harris is trying to distance herself as much as she can from Joe Biden. And it just is, again, it's not resonating with middle America. We know what's up. Middle America knows what's up. And it's just not working. They tried to get Lizzo, Usher, and Obama even tried to chastise black men. If you don't vote for Harris. But I think that was more setting up the Wes Moore candidate in 2028. Because Obama, let's be real. Obama still has his fingerprints all over what the Democrats are doing. He's their messiah. So I really think they're going to do what they can to push Wes Moore over the next 4 years. What are they going to do? Get him on TV as much as possible. Probably put in news articles as much as possible. Watch MSNBC, watch CNN, watch CBS, watch those news stations and see if they don't start showing a lot of information and news stories about Wes Moore. Watch. It's going to happen. And I'm just going to sit there and laugh and know exactly what they're trying to do. That's what I wanted to say tonight. I spoke a couple nights ago about Trump winning and why I think he's going to win. And I did some more thinking, looking at what the Harris administration has been doing. The other thing is the vice president candidate that they picked to run with Harris, he's a clown, and they know it. I mean, watch the guy. He's a clown. He even said it himself. I'm a knucklehead sometimes. I mean, he's a self-proclaimed knucklehead. So they didn't want to waste any vice presidential candidate with Harris. You know, they just threw them under the bus, threw them out like pawns. They know they're going to lose. But they didn't want to waste anybody good in their mind. They didn't want to waste Whitmer. They didn't want to waste Shapiro, and they didn't want to waste Wes Moore. So they are going to polish those three. I think it's going to be Wes Moore that they're going to push, and Trump's going to win in November. November 6th, we'll probably know, because I don't think it's going to be close. It doesn't matter what happens in Georgia. They're going to try to win the House, the upper house, the Senate. That's what they're doing. That's what they're getting ready to do. So, well, thanks for tuning in. I am AP with Here's the Truth with AP, and I will see you next time. Thank you.